As the country and the world are in crises, COVID-19, domestic terrorists roaming the streets, looting, burning, maiming, killing, with the possibility of Joe Biden and ultra-leftists taking control of this country at the ballot box in November, things look pretty dark. Let's be candid, they look dark. And now is the time for we the people to rise up. Now is the time for Americans to again, as we did in 1776, form a free and new nation. We do not have that today. We have court jesters on Capitol Hill who run around stuffing money into their pockets, acquiring power, going on cable news, boosting their own ego, but not representing the American people. We have federal judges who follow their own rules because they think they're there for life and they think they have immunity from suit. We have an executive deep branch, a deep state, which spies on the American people, which has dirt on everybody in the nation's capital in positions of power. And that's another reason nothing gets accomplished, because if anybody sticks their neck out, they'll get it chopped off by being smeared, by being harmed, by being destroyed. Remember what happened during the Clinton administration with just 900 FBI files on adversaries. I had a lawsuit in that regard when I ran Judicial Watch, which I founded. Well, it's much worse today with the mass surveillance that gets into your phones, can turn on your TV and watch what you're doing, your smart TV, and knows where you are at every single moment of every day, and not just the government, Google and everyone else. And who do you think gave the technology to the government? It was the social media companies primarily. The American people are under siege. Now is not the time for niceties. Now is not the time for even the President of the United States, who I personally support, to be painting a rosy picture. There is no rosy picture. I was listening to the President's appearance on Fox and Friends this morning. You know, he says stuff like, I'm the greatest president for Black people with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln. Okay, he's done a lot of good things for African Americans. That's true. But to equate himself with Abraham Lincoln, I think, is a bit of an overstatement. I asked the president to start talking plainly to the American people, to give them the truth. And don't tell us that he's going hard against China. He's not going hard against China. China has something, perhaps, on the Trump organization. They have facilities there. China is being treated with kid gloves to simply shut down a consulate in Houston, Texas, for all the damage that's been done to this country is hardly enough. And to simply round up a few hundred protesters, which he says he did, I don't think there's any proof of that, and say they're now in prison, no one knows that. The left would be screaming if that was the case. Don't say that either. It's time to get out there and have these people arrested. I'm talking about tens of thousands of them who have violated the law, who have destroyed property, who have threatened lives, who have killed people. They should all be arrested and thrown in prison. Now is not the time for lip service. So I say this lovingly to the President of the United States. Get real. Get real with the American people. If you get real with them, you'll have more than just your base. Because 20% of the American populace are independents. They can appreciate if they see real action, not just talk, not just pound chesting, not just saying I'm the greatest thing that ever lived since sliced bread. We're tired of that. 4 years of that, we're tired of it. I want action. And the only group that really is taking action is Freedom Watch. And I'm not just scratching my own back, because if you read my new book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. I basically say, look, I've scratched the surface in my 43-year career as a lawyer. I haven't accomplished as much as I wanted to accomplish. Look at the state of the nation. I'm swimming upstream. And for that reason, I need your support, the American people. You need to know the facts of life to be able to make things right again. Not rosy predictions that things are going to be great when they're not. Right now, they're terrible. Let's face it, they're terrible. And the president can't pull the wool over our eyes. So, I say to him, let's work with him, man up. Stop listening to people like Roger Stone, who've kept me away from you for 4 years by obviously defaming me. I've got 6 lawsuits in that regard, and my clients. People like that. Start associating with good people, not trash, good people. And let's get the job done right now, because the country's hanging by a thread. So go out and get my book. See what I'm saying about how we need to rise up and fight the revolution. Forget the scandal industry. We don't need to be entertained. Turn Hannity off. Turn that kind of stuff off. Just get the news and then get to work. Get up off the couch. Join our class action lawsuit. See if you qualify in Dallas, Texas, against the Chinese for all the damage they have done. Our criminal case in The Hague. Our cases against social media who've discriminated against conservatives, people of faith. Our cases against Antifa. We were the first one to bring a case against Antifa, and now even the Ninth Circuit is allowing it to proceed after a hack judge on the lower court in the Northern District of California threw it out. Even the Ninth Circuit says it can go forward. So these are the kinds of things that you need to be doing, and you need to be telling the president, snap out of it. We don't want to hear any more hype. We want to see real action. It's not enough to talk. You have to act. And you've done some good things, and we appreciate that. For instance, you had the embassy put in Israel and in Jerusalem, and you did other things. But you know what? Now we're in crisis. President, you got to have a straight talk with the American people. We're in the deep you-know-what, and we all need to work together to wage a counter-revolution to save this country. Share this podcast far and wide. It's on radioamerica.com, freedomwatchusa.org. You can find it at Spotify, Roku, Amazon Fire, the new equivalent of Twitter, Parler, P-A-R-L-E-R, in French, Parlay, Facebook. Get it out far and wide. Stop listening to the purveyors of, quote, it's going to happen tomorrow. Forget about any indictments of Comey or McCabe or the Clappers or the Brennans or the Obamas or the Bidens. Forget it. It's not going to happen, okay? I've been telling you that, and I've proved to be right. Join Freedom Watch's citizens' class actions. We'll indict them. We'll prosecute them. We'll sentence them. We'll seek to meet them out peacefully and legally. Join our new American militia at freedomwatchusa.org. It's defensive. It's not offensive. We do things peacefully and legally, but you've got to get ready to defend yourself. And you've got to get what you need to get under the Second Amendment to do that. Because you know what? They're coming for you, and they're coming for your family, and they're coming for your property. They've already been in the streets of Beverly Hills saying, eat the rich, and other places. And you may not be rich, and neither am I, but it doesn't matter. We're now in a Bolshevik revolution. So get this out. Share it far and wide. And I'll be back tomorrow with another special edition of my podcasts. And get a pre-ordered copy of my book. I'm just not hawking the book. I'll probably wind up making little to nothing off of it. But you got to get the book and read it and see what the state of the affairs is today. God bless you. God bless your family. God save your family. And thank you for listening.